Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. So what's going on, guys? This one is going to be more of a rant than it is an official podcast. So we'll just go right into it. Hi, guys. My name is Donnie Rouse, and you are listening to the podcast One Life. Chocolate ice cream. This episode is about chocolate ice cream, and it's going to be more of a rant rather than the format that I typically pose my podcasts in. And this podcast was inspired by my 3-year-old niece's desire for chocolate ice cream and just observing her enjoy this and what we project as adults and how we fall into what we call like the shadow of, suppressing emotions because it's what society says we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to behave. I was in New Jersey, I was in Pennsylvania dropping off my niece for college. After we dropped her off, we set her up in an appointment. We got some dinner, and we ended up going out for ice cream. My smallest niece, Harper, we were passing the ice cream store. She saw the ice cream, and she loves chocolate. If there's one thing that could get her to do anything, it is a chocolate bar. So we're walking by the ice cream, the gelato window, and like, Harper, do you want ice cream? Yes, 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 yes. She starts screaming out, yes, she wanted ice cream. And when she was asked what flavor she wanted, the immediate answer was chocolate. So I watched there. She had the chocolate cone in her hand. And she just smiling from ear to ear, fully present in this chocolate ice cream. We continued to walk and we made our way back to the hotel. At the hotel, I'm looking at my niece and I'm laughing because she had the chocolate ice cream that she was eating. She was literally wearing it all over her shirt. Laying in the bed, I said, Harper, I was like, you have chocolate over your shirt. She looked down, she snapped her head down almost like, well, really? What are you talking about? She looked down, she saw all the chocolate over her shirt, and he goes, yeah, I had chocolate ice cream. Like, of course it was all over my shirt. I had chocolate ice cream. The reason I tell you this is that there was no, sorrow or that she had chocolate all over her shirt. It was like, well, yeah, I was eating chocolate ice cream. I fully enjoyed it, and therefore it's on my shirt. What's wrong with that? But yet as we grow, we start to feel like we have to behave a certain way. We have to have a certain etiquette. But I want you to acknowledge the reason why I'm telling you this story is I want you to see, know what is it that you want. Like when you see these desires, when these things kind of flash their lights and you feel this surge of emotion, like positive emotion and inspiration, to recognize that. So this way you can move forward, but also to be unapologetic in your move towards that thing that you want, right? Because society, your family, there's these rules, unspoken rules all around you that are saying, no, this is not how it's supposed to be done here. Nope, you've got to do this and follow this path. But I want you to realize that those rules are just rules. They're bullshit rules that are preventing you from living the life that you were meant to live. To give you an example, every single culture has a different set of rules, right? A different set of what is appropriate behaviors for that culture. Go to Italy, there's a certain behavior set. Go to the United States, there's a certain behavior that's acceptable. Maybe that's why I feel so accepted in Italy, right? It's acceptable to say, you know what, I'm going to stop for coffee 5 times a day and grab an espresso and just enjoy it for a little bit. Totally acceptable. Where you're here in the States or where I'm here in the States, like, yeah, I want to have another coffee, but I can't take a break now. I got to keep on going. I got to keep on pushing, right? But by recognizing these forces that are controlling your life, or I wouldn't say controlling because you have control, these forces that are influencing your life, then you can make a conscious decision to say, I'm no longer going to let this run my life anymore. I'm going to go for what I want. I'm going to be unapologetic. If someone says, hey, Donnie, we split the steak, but you took the bigger piece, but I didn't really realize that, and I don't care. I like steak. Whatever it is, I want you to go after what you want. Be unapologetic in asking for it because you will not get what you want if you don't ask for it, right? If you don't ask, you don't know. It's something my father would always tell me. He would say, ask. You don't know if you don't ask, right? Otherwise, you're sitting there. If you don't ask for what you want, what's the likelihood of you getting it? Zero, right? If you don't ask, you're not going to get it. But if you ask, what's the possibility? Right? At least you have a possibility, even if it's small. You have the possibility of attaining what it is you want. But it requires you to step up. It requires you to ask and be unapologetic to move forward for what it is that you desire. So I hope it was just a rant I wanted to share with you, but this is just one of the things that you could learn from watching a 3-year-old, someone who hasn't been tainted, so to speak, or I should say, they haven't had the blindfold put on from society, right? They're living their own way. They want what they want, and they're go for it, unapologetic. That's how you should live your life. That's how we should all live our life, unapologetic, going for what it is that we want. Because when we're living in that space, that is when we are living our best. That is when we are able to contribute, because we're living from our true self, not this image of how we're supposed to behave and how we're supposed to be. That's not where the juicy fruit lies. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please give it a subscribe, give it a thumbs up, comment, ask a question by visiting my website, www.donnyraus.com. Again, DonnyRaus.com. And if you like great coffee, visit rouscoffee.com, RAUScoffee.com, where the coffee will inspire you to take that moment of reflection, that moment for yourself in your day. Use the discount code ONELIFE in all caps to receive 10% off your first order. There's some great new coffees that are going to be dropping next week, new Sumatra and a new Ethiopian coming in, and they are pretty bomb because I selected them as a certified Q grader and espresso sommelier. I take pride in the coffees I'm able to curate and roast. So that is all I've got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. God bless, and I will see you again soon. Remember, you get one life. Live it.